These are my new makeup releases for May. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. I am going to be chatting with you about some new makeup releases. I'm super excited for this. I didn't have time to film this last week, and so I just tagged on a couple of more, and I'll try doing it again on the first Sunday of the month in June, so there will be a little less then. I just realized there's over 60 items to talk about here, so let's roll. Some of the first two items I think I may have mentioned in my previous video, but I don't remember exactly, so I do apologize if you do remember. But there's a new face palette from Charlotte Tilbury, the Multi-Glow face palette. These look really, really pretty, but I do feel that Charlotte Tilbury is one of those brands that just does a lot of the same things all the time. So I don't feel this is very different for the brand. It's not something special. It's rosy tones, which is what they always do, so not necessarily I need this in my life. There is a new collection from Huda Beauty. This is the Strawberry Latte collection. And when I saw this name, I was like, Strawberry Latte? Wasn't that like a trend 2 years ago? It's like one of those things where brands have heard a trend going on and then they decide to hop on it, and then it takes them 2 years to develop the products. That's what this is giving to me. So I'm not entirely sure if this is anything that I would want. Are these Huda Beauty face palettes any good? I'm not a face palette person though. I do have to warn you. Face palettes in general isn't usually something that I'm really, really interested in. I just don't get the use out of them. I used to have like loads of them back in the day, but I decluttered, save for like the one or two that I like to take traveling, and everything else just has no place in my beauty routine. So that's why I tend to reach for singles more so than I do palettes. But yeah, this looks good. There are the palette is there. There's a gloss and 2 liquid blushes. And those Huda Beauty liquid blushes, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of intrigue me, but not something I need. I have plenty of liquid blush. Urban Decay came out with the lip oil stain. This seems a little bit late to the party. It's one of those like lip balm kind of products, but then it leaves a stain behind. And for Urban Decay, I found this a very sort of random release. It doesn't really suit the brand at all. There is a new sunscreen from Ilia. This is the Sun Serum Mineral Sunscreen. I've not tried too much Ilia at all. It's one of those brands where I would love to try them, but whenever I look at the brand in store, I never know what to pick up. So I will find myself at a Sephora sometime this year, I'm sure. So if you have any recommendations for Ilia products that you love, let me know, and what shades I should pick up, because I don't know. I now know I'm MAC N11 in the Studio Radiance. So if that gives you any sort of reference point of what my foundation shade is like, then that might give you an idea of where I need to go into the Ilia line. I have no clue. This is a new product at Sephora, I believe. Sarah Creel. So I think this is a new brand as well, and it's this like cream moussey sort of blush. 6 blushes that all look pretty much identical. Where have we seen that before? If you saw my video that I did yesterday, my tea time chat, then you know that this is just too similar to other things. So I know that this is just not something that I need in my life. There is something new from L'Oreal Paris. This is the True Match Hyaluron Tinted Balm. So this is, I think, one of those products that's like not quite a powder, not quite a foundation, but it sort of sits in between and you can use it as both. I remember having a product like this. I believe it was by Benefit, and it was always living in my work bag so that if I needed to do any sort of quick touching up, that I could. So I believe it also comes with a little sponge, it says here. It's really easy for those kind of things, but I don't... These kind of products and my skin, I kind of feel that you need to have really good skin for this to look good. Something new from Revolution, the Super Dewy Cushion. Is it any surprise that we now see every brand under the sun in the West coming out with a cushion foundation? I don't think so, but as I have said many times in the past, whenever I've discussed these things, if you want a good cushion foundation, go K-beauty. They're the originators of it, so you might as well cut out the middleman and buy the original. There's a new Kiko Milano collection, the You Ready collection. That's what this is called. This looks pretty. I actually did go into Kiko to see what this collection was like. It comes with some beautiful like duochromatic eyeshadows in their water shadow formula. I have a couple of the other shades that they've done in the past that have been limited edition in these kind of collections. The packaging I'm not a big fan of though. This like blue and red and just looks a little, I don't know, a little off for the brand really. The bronzers look like every single bronzer Kiko has done in the past 5 years. There are some sparkly lip glosses, but I was able to swatch some of those, and they really didn't look that distinct once swatched onto like your actual skin. So a bit of a dud for me. I ended up not picking anything up from this collection, but I mean, it's Kiko. They do some solid things. But as I have mentioned many times in the past, I would go for the Kiko regular range. I did spot that they have a new foundation. So now I'm like, should I try that foundation sometime for you guys? I don't know. It seemed really nice. It was like this serum-y sort of skin tint kind of thing. It was called Love something. It looked really pretty, but they didn't have my shade in the store when I was there. That was a bit of a shame. There's a new palette from Laura Geller Beauty. Beautiful, but am I the only person who thinks Too Faced the minute they look at this? It's very, very similar looking to the Born This Way eyeshadow palette that Too Faced has. This is just slightly more purpley rose, mauve sort of thing. It could be cooler toned than the Too Faced one. I mean, it says here universally flattering shades in the promo. Does it look nice? Yes. But Laura Geller, I find, is really, really difficult to buy. So, not entirely sure whether this is available to me at all. It says here that it's available at Macy's, so that's the US. So, no. But yeah, this does look pretty. I think this is a really beautiful eyeshadow palette. If this is the kind of thing you're looking for, like subtle, neutral, everyday. And Laura Geller, I've tried a couple of products by them that I picked up at like an Ulta years ago. And they were good products. Then I did find that this was exciting news. MONOLITH is now stocking titanium foxes. If you have been on their website since the 26th of April, then the brand is now on MONOLITH. So I think there are now 4 of their eyeshadow palettes on MONOLITH. So that is something I am testing out, one of their eyeshadow palettes this month. So I'm excited to see how it goes. They're a French brand. It's been recommended to me a ton by you guys. So I bought Crying by the Horses. But yeah, this was exciting to me that they are now on MONOLITH. There are some About Face palettes in this new makeup releases list as well. This is a Bellet Bean Highlighting Pearls. Is this eyeshadow? Or is this like, it's supposed to be for the face? And one of them is very light and one of them seems to be for like deeper skin tones. But both skin tones are wearing it in these pictures. Mix and match. Yeah, I think this is one of those like multi-use products that you can use wherever. Looks pretty. Do I need it? No. I don't know why, but this is the millennial in me, I'm sure. This reminds me so much of those little BH round, like, remember the baked shadows from BH Cosmetics? Those planet-based, like those planet-inspired palettes that they had? Reminds me of that. This is by Eyeshadow. This is a glow enhancer. Color and glow enhancer. It's sort of like a blush highlight hybrid kind of product. In a sense, like essentially this is like a blush topper / really glowy blush / highlighter, depending on the shade you get. Pretty, yes. Did we need it from Shiseido? No. But the packaging. This compact looks absolutely stunning. Now this is an ad that I was fed a lot while I was in the UK. I didn't get this ad when I was in the Netherlands at all, but Max Factor has a new like sort of lip balm type of product. It's the a 2000 calorie mellow blur, which is now new and available in a lot of different places. I had a look at this at the UK drugstore when I was in London because they were already available there, and none of the shades really appealed to me. And the formula, like formula-wise, it was very similar to like the Generation G lipstick from Glossier and something like the Bisou Balm that I now bought from Violette FR. So there are actually quite a few like products already similar to this on the market. Then we have this guy right here, and I know people want to know what my opinion is on the new Vintage Radiance eyeshadow palette from Sigma. Let me tell you, this looks absolutely stunning. If it didn't look like a mixture of shades that I already own in the new mod and the cool neutrals, I would pick this up in a heartbeat. But I feel I already own this from this brand. Especially the shades on like the right side of the palette look like they are straight from the cool neutrals. I feel like we get these like brown toned shades in there and also those gray tones. And then those softer rosy tones that it has look really pretty, but they are very similar to what's in the new mod. So as stunning as this palette probably is, I don't think I will be buying it because I already own something very similarly, because I don't want to like have FOMO of not picking this up. I actually did put the new mod in my May Shop My Stash, so I can play with it again because I think it's going to tickle the same itch. Ace Beauty has rebranded and it now looks like Tower 28 Kosas and all of those brands. Who knew? So Ace Beauty is an indie brand. I actually decluttered one of the eyeshadow palettes I still had by them. They were doing loads of really fun, colorful things at the time, and I don't think that was really working for them anymore. I remember they reformulated and then they just did all of their old products in the new formula, and now they've completely rebranded and it looks like every single Gen Z makeup brand on the market. So not sure how popular this is going to be, but it's very different from like compared to what they did a couple of years ago. More Laura Geller. I think this is from the same collection as the eyeshadow palette is, but there's also a multitask eye, lip, and cheek palette out, so that you can use in different ways. I think it's mainly creams, a cream to powder texture. This has beautiful shades in, but there's not a single like color combination that I really feel would work for me. I just don't see myself reaching for a product like this. Then we have Cryptine Cosmetics. This is the Welcome to the Multiverse, the Supernova combinations that you can make. I believe what they've done here is that they're showing you 4 pans that you can create with the larger palette. That's sort of the idea here. Really beautiful palette from Cryptine. I've just tried one of their palettes, the Serif, no? Was it Cryptine? Yeah, it's Cryptine. The Serif palette, and I really enjoy it. This color story is too similar to other things I already have. I have, for instance, the Harvest of Souls by Fantasy Cosmetica. That is really, really similar to this, I find. It may be a little bit more muted than the Fantasy Cosmetica is. This does look really pretty in the swatches. Like, just looking at these swatches, I'm like, this is a palette after my heart. Do I need it? Absolutely not. There is a highlighter from Judy Doll. I found this online as well. This looks really pretty, but it also looks like every single highlighter that you can find from like H&M and K-beauty brands that are similar to them. So not sure that's all that unique. Then we have some news about Pat McGrath. This is, of course, old news by now because it was already announced about a month ago. But Pat McGrath Labs is now out of bankruptcy and there is a new owner, so the brand is not going anywhere. But there will probably be some sort of shift there, of course. Sydney Grace had, I already saw an announcement for the Hot Mess palette from them last month, but I didn't realize there was also going to be the Perfectly Balanced eyeshadow palette. So there are 2 new Sydney Grace eyeshadow palettes that are out. They were released on the 15th of April. And then there's a load of new things from Catrice. Catrice does some really beautiful things. Here they have some sort of like cushion blush. Where have we seen that before? And what I like the most is that Catrice is no longer even hiding it. They are actually actively communicating K-beauty inspired and Cloud Soft meet the new Catrice Cloud Tint Cushion Blush. So they're no longer even trying to hide that they're copying K-beauty at this point, because they have been doing this for some time now. These look pretty. If my local store wasn't always entirely picked over by the time I get to it, I might pick this up. I don't need this though at all. I did buy one of the pudding blushes that they came out with for their new release. I really feel when Catrice does these like in-between releases, they are testing out to see what will sell for the new release. So I'm really thinking that in August, September, when we get the new launch for fall winter, there's going to be a full range of cushion blushes from Catrice. That's my prediction. There is a new spring collection from Terra Moons. They just released some palettes, and now they're coming out with what I think is like a singles collection with these really beautiful pastel tones. Really beautiful. I think it's great for the brand. Terra Moons does some amazing eyeshadow. Do I need this? No, but it's beautiful. Also new from Catrice, I said there were going to be some other new Catrice products here. The Magic Shine Eraser, I thought it was a bit of a gimmick. Apparently it works really well for people with oily skin, which is what I don't have, but they've now translated that same idea to a cushion. The Magic Shine Eraser Cooling Cushion, again, very K-beauty inspired. They do a lot of these kind of products. It also says here in the promo that it's K-beauty inspired. So if you do have oily skin and you like these kind of products, then you can now get them at the European drugstore. There's a new ColourPop launch. This is the Pink Dreams eyeshadow palette. It should have dropped on the 24th of April. An all pinky tone palette. We're getting a lot of pinks and mauve tones again. Do you see the trend? That Laura Geller palette had it. This has it. I'm really sensing this like sort of whimsical fairy tale like pinky vibe. That's really something we're getting a lot of at the minute. Then in other exciting news, we have Refer coming to Sephora. I'm pretty sure this is only in the US for now. It's actually coming on May 6th to Hong Kong, and then it's supposed to also go to the US. Whether this is going to come to Europe, I don't know. Refer brushes are really good. I have a load of them because I usually buy them. Like I've bought a couple of sets, and I think that's also how, like you can buy them as single brushes, but it's cheaper if you buy them as sets. They do sales regularly. If you're looking for really good brushes, then I think Refer is really, really good. I believe they're also made in Asia, and they're really, really good quality brushes. I do really like the brand. They've just not really made it a lot into my everyday brush collection, because they are usually a little bit big for my features. That's the only downside. There's some new stuff from Half Magic Beauty. I haven't checked what it is, but Half Magic Beauty is the brand that is run by the makeup artist who did the makeup for Euphoria. That's how the brand got started, and they're now doing a collab with Euphoria, the HBO show. Then there is, I think, when did this come out? The 29th of April. The 29th of April. More about face. This is the Holo Stick, a cream and powder eye combo with a holographic finish. This seems nice. Like these are the kind of things that I would like to see more of in makeup stores. But About Face is pretty difficult to find. I do believe Selfridges had like half a gondola at some point, but I didn't even find it this time around. These are the other new bits from Catrice. So this has the blushes on, but then there are some other products here too. I can't even really read what this is, but there seems to be these like primary kind of things. They also have this, this is a contour shade. This is the Glass Cloud Soft Blur Contour Trio Powder. Again, K-beauty inspired is what it says here. This reminds me so much of a lot of the K-beauty sort of contoury, bronzery things that you can find on YESSTYLE. So there's that. They're doing a good job here. I don't really believe the swatches they're doing in this video, though. I don't think it's going to be that dark, knowing Catrice, but I think they've definitely built up these swatches a lot. Oh, and they have a new tinted, like skin tint, like moisturizer type of thing. Not sure in how many shades it comes. Doesn't say. The shade names seem to suggest it's like 15 or so at the end of the video. So loads of new things that are very K-beauty inspired from Catrice. But this does seem to be some sort of like in-between limited edition kind of drop. as I've just explained with the cushion blushes, I do think that they're trialing new products that they're going to then release for August. Yellow packaging from NARS. This is the only reason why I like saved it to my tab on Instagram, because it was like, oh, okay. There's eyeshadow, there's blush, there's some lip products, there's powders. There's a lot of things here. This is their spring-summer collection, the Petal Play collection. And this does look very playful in the packaging, but not necessarily the products itself. Like, the products itself feel a little bit safe and just not that exciting. So, A for packaging, but like a C- for the products themselves. Lancome has a new multi-use foundation stick coming out, or it is already out. Yeah, it came out on the 1st of May. Foundation sticks are usually not really my thing. However, they have been infusing foundation sticks with more and more skincare ingredients as well. And this one tells me that, in the promo at least, that it does that. So I hope it does. Lancome is a solid brand. It's just a bit boring sometimes. Now, this is a new product that I already own. This came out the day before I went into store at Liberty's to find a Violette FR counter. I wasn't looking for it, just kind of spotted it. I was like, oh yeah, this is a brand I would like to try. This is their new Plume eyeshadow, a sheer veil of color, and it's this cream to powder formula. I got a question from someone saying, does this crease? Because I've heard people saying it creases. Because it is cream to powder formula, I do feel you need to sort of work a little bit harder for this to look nice throughout the day. However, the makeup artist that day, I went shopping that day without wearing too much makeup, and the makeup artist actually put a couple of the shades onto my lids, and I had no creasing throughout the day. I wore that look for the rest of the day, and there was no creasing on my lids. I bought one of the shades. It was like this matte, purpley, grayish brown. It's really, really pretty. It's called Bois Brûlé, and I really think it's really something special. I think it's going to pair really well with some of my cream formula shades from Trinity London. So if I want to smoke those out on a trip, then I have this eyeshadow. I do feel that the packaging is a little bit cheap. It's like very cheap plastic. There is a new lip lacquer from House Labs. This is the Atomic Shake Lip Lacquer. So this is one of those like liquid lipstick, liquefied lipstick kind of things. When they say lip lacquer, I'm not expecting it to be like a liquid lipstick that's going to wear all day. But it is one of those things that you need to shake up, apply a thin layer, and then you need to wait for a couple of seconds for it to set, and it wears all day, it says. Plus it should stay shiny. Comes in 8 shades, it seems. Yes, 8 shades. Looks pretty. Is this something I need? No, not necessarily. I don't like these kind of things that need to sit there and I need to wait for it to dry. I have a much bigger bottom lip than I do top lip wise, so for me to be able to apply these products properly, like lip products in general, I need to apply a little bit on my bottom lip, transfer it to my top lip, because if I put like product from a tube or a doe foot straight onto my top lip, it just slides everywhere and I cover my entire face in lipstick, which is not a good thing. So I sort of apply a little bit here, press it together to transfer it, and then all I need to do is draw in my Cupid's bow, and that way I prevent really, really big messes. So products like this with my lip shape, it doesn't really go. Lisa Eldridge actually has some new shades out for her new, well, not new, this is not a new product, but there are new shades in the Seamless Glide eyeliner. These are excellent eyeliners. If you're looking for a high-end eyeliner, I do recommend it. I have one of the green tones. It comes in a really beautiful lilac shade. When I was in London, I had a look at the Lisa Eldridge counter. There just isn't anything that the brand currently does that I really want to get, even though the Betty eyeshadow palette, now that I've seen it in real life, that's pulling on my heartstrings. That is something where I'm like, I would like to own that. I would like to own that at some point, but I'm in no rush to go out and buy that by any means. But it does look really pretty. I did also have a look at the sort of multi-use stick that she came out with. I believe you can use them on your lips and on your cheeks. They're not really cream blushes, but there's this like multi-use thing. And I had a look at the shades and I was like, really? The shades just aren't for me. So I had already like seen it online, but now that I've seen it in real life, I'm like, no. Then we have the new Bella Beauté Bar and Freya collab, the Yin and Yang palette. And of course, if something is this cool tone and grungy, you know I want to try this. So when I was gifted a coupon for Monolith's latest drop on the 26th of April, I decided to put this one in my cart. Unfortunately, this product isn't coming yet because there is a problem with one of the shades that didn't come, or it came broken or expired, whatever. There was a problem. So they're waiting on that one shade to arrive. It was now announced on their Instagram that it is on its way to them because of all the things going on in the world. They've had some shipping issues with the new shade coming. So once that is there, the palettes will be shipped out. So I'm just waiting for that thing to be added to my order, and then I will have this plus the Cleric. Those are the two things that I picked out from Monolith this time around. They gave us a coupon code again, so we could pick out our own things, which is actually what I prefer, because then I feel I pick things that I will also be likely to use and go back to, rather than just getting something random and then I'm like, is this really for me? Sometimes it works out well, but not all the time, so I prefer if I can pick out my own things. So this is something I did request in PR. But Girl Cult is this really beautiful, more edgy brand. They're also doing a dusty rosy pink color story in their eyeshadows. Do you see what's going on? Can you see the pattern? I think there's a pattern here. There are a couple of new products here. There's glosses, there's a face palette. So it's not just eyeshadow, it's actually, there's a cream palette and a powder palette. And then all the other multi-use things that you can use all over your face. But I think these can be like eyeshadows or blushes and bronzers. But yeah, it's sort of, it reminds me actually a lot of a Benefit palette I had decades ago. I think it's still in my makeup memory box. Natasha Denona is keeping the High Glam train rolling with a new setting powder. There's now a High Glam concealer. There's a High Glam whatever. Everything is High Glam with Natasha Denona lately. So, do I need a loose powder? No, this is not for me. I dislike loose powders with a passion. So, yeah, I'm going to be skipping this one. New from Sephora collection is these little face palettes. The Bronze Glow face palette. It's got cream, powder, and a highlighter in there. Very Patrick Ta inspired. Every brand under the sun is coming out with palettes like this, I feel. I just picked up the blush version that Morphe does, just to give it a whirl. I wasn't a fan myself of the blush palettes by Patrick Ta. I tried one, and I didn't love it. So I don't really get the hype, but every brand under the sun is copying it. So I'm sure it's selling. Is this for me? No, but if you like this kind of product, then I'm sure it's okay. And then this, I thought, hey, is this a new product by Viseart? And it's like, no, it's Cheer Yap. It's a new refillable collection, it says here. It says coming soon. I don't know when it's going to come. But it does look really pretty. And again, with the rosy pinks. This is the fourth palette in the same video that does that. This seems to have like a pop of blue in there, but everything is like neutrals with rosy pinks. It's pretty. I like the look of this. I like Cheer Yap as a brand as well, so not sure. There's a new palette out from Sugar Rock, I believe. I'm not sure how new this is. But it just came to Look Healthy store. This is the Dark Dust eyeshadow palette. The problem with Sugar Rock is A, it's very expensive. I believe these palettes retail for over 100 euros. And 2, they sell out really quickly everywhere. So this is one of those brands where I'm like, I would love to try that at some point in time. Their color stories, it doesn't matter which one, they all look stunning. But it is one of those brands, once it sells out, they never bring anything back. So I also don't want to like get stuck in this rat race of like, ooh, when is this brand coming out with something new? And then like, especially if it's this expensive, I don't want to go through the hassle. So unless they bring back things into stock, or if the stars need to align really for me to be able to buy this brand, I feel. There's something new from Dior. This is the gloss lipstick. So it's a lipstick lip balm sort of thing, but in a lipstick. It looks pretty, but this is not something that I think is all that exciting. Does it have like removable cases? Oh yeah, there's like different cases that you can buy for these now. So the lipstick actually clicks out. I used to have a Dior Addict lipstick years ago, so that's why I feel this isn't all that unique, because I feel they've had this formula for a while. They just rebranded, but now you can buy a different case for it. Oh wow. This is new from What's Up Beauty. This was offered to me in PR and I decided not to respond, mainly because I've tried other things from What's Up Beauty and I love the brand. They are such a high quality brand. A lot of their products are made in Italy, so it's really, really well done usually. This is the Skyfire eyeshadow palette, and the reason why I said no thank you is because I have decluttered all of my other What's Up Beauty eyeshadow palettes. And not because I didn't like them. They are really, really good palettes, but because I wasn't using them. I wasn't reaching for them. I wasn't going back to them. If I look at all of the other makeup I had, I wasn't personally going into my makeup collection to reach for a What's Up Beauty eyeshadow palette, which is why I was like, I'm not going to respond to this. I don't want to indicate that I want to get this. Not because I'm not, I know I will like it. I know I can request this and I will probably love the palette. But if I already know that this is just going to sit in a drawer and then 2 years from now, I'm going to pass it on to somebody else, is it then worth it, them shipping it all the way to me from the US and then me testing it out once and it then just sitting in the drawer? I'm like, it didn't sit well with me. So I was like, it would have been nice for the channel, but not something I need in my life. Dolce & Gabbana makeup has the Cherry Glaze Bar Blush Stick. It comes in 5 shades. And these shades aren't that exciting per se, but at least we get some bolder things. Did I need this? No. It should have come out in April. I don't know. It's okay, I guess. There's a new palette out from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Greek Odyssey palette. This came out on April 27th. And this looks stunning. Nomad, we all know, I really enjoy their palettes. They have a really good formula that's a little bit thinner and less heavy and sparkly than other indie brands have. It's a little bit more pearly metallic, so I feel it's a little bit more beginner friendly. This looks really pretty. There is an Odyssey movie coming out this summer, so they're tying into that really nicely. I like the greens and the brighter blues in here. I'm not so sure about the yellows and the pinks, so for me, this isn't something I need per se, but I do have a couple of Nomad palettes. Now that I've tried their Christmas market palette, I'm like, that Pacific West Coast palette they did last year, that's still kind of pulling on my heartstrings, but I'm good for eyeshadow. I have that Color Story a million times over in my makeup collection. I would buy that to have more Nomad palettes rather than like getting something unique. Fenty Beauty is coming out with a new cream bronzer. This is the Sunstalker Souffle Pressed Mousse Blurring Cream Bronzer. So this does seem different from the cream bronzer they used to have. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so the lightest shade called Sugar Cookie, and they used to do a shade called Amber as their lightest shade, but this looks really light. So if you're someone who's like, oh, I can never wear bronzer, this could be nice. This is actually something that intrigues me. Something where I'm like, if I do find this in a Sephora, I may want to try this out. However, Fenty Beauty has a tendency to not release their products in Europe until months later, so I don't know when I'll be able to find this. Guerlain has a new lipstick out, the Kiss Kiss Honey Infused Intense Lipstick. It's in a refillable case, and just that bee print alone is making me want to get one, but then I look at the shade selection and I'm like, yeah, there's nothing really that special here. Of course, it's just, like, if I look at the swatches, it's just like a million pinks and some nudes. Next. So this is not a brand that I'm very familiar with. It's Summer Balmer. I don't know. This is the Glossy Lip Glow, and this is available through TikTok. And when I read that, I'm like, yeah, we're going to see that a lot. There is no TikTok shop yet here in the Netherlands. I believe we're getting it in October. I believe we're getting it then. But yeah, no TikTok shop is available. TikTok shop just isn't available everywhere. So there's that. So this is out already, and it's already gone viral. This is the Fui All Day Cover Black Cushion. So Fui now has a new cushion foundation. I still have an older cushion by them. I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to do. But yeah, this came out on the 30th of April. Fui has a new cushion foundation. So I hope it does come in more shades than the glass cushion that I have by them. That didn't come in a lot of shades. There's a new concealer out from Maybelline, only in selected countries for now. The Fit Me Spot Rescue Full Coverage Concealer. This looks nice. Do I have spots? No. Do I need a full coverage concealer? Also no. But it makes sense for the brand. And then this I think I already talked about, but I just forget. This is the Skin Finish Sunstock Bronzer. And this is actually something that I want to try. But I think it just hadn't released in Europe yet because this was posted on a German Instagram account on the 29th of April. So this is a new, like a relaunched product. But when it's coming to Europe, I don't know. So this may be why I haven't been able to find this anywhere yet. There's some new meteorite powders from Guerlain. They do different renditions of this every single year. Now it does compress, so it doesn't come with the little pearls. It does have the same style packaging. These look really pretty, very aesthetic for on your vanity if that's what you want. And they are supposed to be color correcting like the pearls are as well. And this is definitely aimed at different skin issues and skin tones. So there's a translucent shade, cool rose, warm, and amber. So depending on what you like. Kosas is coming out with a cream blush stick. I think this is a good move for Kosas to have a cream. Their powder blushes look pretty, but they are very similar in terms of shade, so I never know which one to pick up. The shades here, again, nothing too exciting. It's like every other cream blush stick on the market, but I do think it makes sense for a brand like Kosas to have a shade, like a product like this in their lineup. I think this is one of the final things. Yeah, this was posted about 2 days ago. This is by Makeup Forever. This is the Skin Balancing and Perfecting Foundation. This looks pretty. I mean, Makeup Forever can do some really good things. It's just one of those brands that, again, I don't find all that often, so I'm not that in tune with what they have on offer. I think the packaging looks fun with like the little lips, which is their design, of course. It's like their logo or part of their logo. Let's see, it's supposed to be lightweight with medium coverage, blurs pores but not being cakey, oil control, but it does also have hydrating qualities, a water infused texture, a natural matte finish. Bummer. It does come in 40 shades. Matte finish, the minute it says that, I know I can skip a foundation. No matter how hydrating a matte foundation is, I've never been able to make that work for myself. And then there is a new liquid blush from NARS. I've already heard someone saying in the comments how much they like this product. It's a liquid blush formula from NARS. I feel they've done something like this in the past. Maybe it's just reformulated, but yeah, it does come in a shimmer formula and satin. It's long wear, transfer resistant, satin and shimmer finishes. I mean, this looks really pretty from NARS. This is something where I'm like, yes, I can get down with this, and there is a really beautiful like purpley shade, Lose Control. That looks pretty. It's called a Violet. Interesting. I believe that's it, you guys. We've made it through 60 different releases that have come out or have been announced in recent weeks. So let me know in a comment down below what your favorite new release is. Is there anything you've picked up already or not? And yeah, I will be back with a new video like this at the start of June. I like to do these videos on every single first Sunday of the month. So once a month we chat about new makeup on here, and I will be back in the meantime with loads of other content. So I hope you like to stay tuned for more. Bye bye.